Every day you say you're gonna go to the gym, to work on your school assignments, or to start your business. Yet the days are flying by and you still haven't even gotten started yet. You see all of these people on social media showing you their 5 a.m. morning routines and their productive 10-hour workdays. And so you look at that and you wonder how the hell they're able to do so much in just 24 hours while you can't even stay focused for 10 minutes in a row. So naturally you start to hate yourself. Your self-esteem goes down the toilet and now you wonder, how can I get out of this mess? If we haven't met before, my name is Fred, and just a couple years ago I hit the lowest point in my life. I was broke, depressed, anxious, I had no social skills whatsoever. I genuinely hated life. After lots of hard work and after making countless mistakes along the way, I'm now running a profitable online business. I've built a strong muscular physique I can be proud of, and I've actually received lots of compliments about it, and my social skills have improved significantly. Now I'm not telling you all of this to brag because that's pointless and I couldn't care less. I'm telling you this to show you that in just a few years, if you put your head down, you do the work, you work on bettering yourself, a lot can happen. Trust me, you can transform yourself completely. So just like right now, you might feel hopeless about your situation. Know that just like I did, you can climb out of hell. It's truly possible. And you'll genuinely be surprised to realize that life can be a lot more fun and a lot more rewarding than you ever thought possible. So it's time for you to discover the truth about discipline and why you haven't been able to discipline yourself so far. If you can make it to the end of this video, I truly believe that your life will never be the same ever again. So if you don't have the attention span for life-changing advice, trust me, click off this video right now. It's not gonna benefit you in any way. Otherwise, let's continue. You see, the real reason why you're not disciplined is because of your self-image. The truth is that if you see yourself as a loser, as someone who can't be disciplined, no matter how hard you try, no matter how hard you try to force yourself, you'll never manage to actually become disciplined and to stick to a routine over the long term. You'll always go right back to square one. It's exactly the same reason why a lot of people from all over the world constantly struggle with money. They want to make more of it, they want to have more freedom, more abundance, but they're always stuck in the same dead-end job and they can't increase their income. Why? It's because they only believe themselves to be worth a certain amount, and so anything above that, they'll feel like they're not worthy of it. It's gonna feel impossible for them to achieve that, and so they never will. Whenever you put something on a pedestal, that thing runs the hell away from you because you're telling your brain you'll never have it, you don't deserve it, you can't do what it takes to get it. And so naturally, do you think you're seriously gonna be taking action for months and for years then? If that's the kind of things that you believe, of course not. You'll quit at the slightest obstacle. A while ago, I read this book called Psycho-Cybernetics, and in it, there was the story of the $50,000 a year salesman. So to quickly sum it up for you, a salesman was very good at his job, but he only made $50,000 per year. So his boss decided to move him to a bigger city with a bigger customer pool because he thought, surely if he's exposed to more people, to more potential customers, he'll close more deals because he's a very good salesman. But guess what happened? No matter how many people were around him, how many potential customers he could sign, that salesman never exceeded $50,000 per year. And even if he were moved back into a smaller town with a smaller customer pool, so less potential deals to sign, he still managed to make the same amount, $50,000 per year. So how come that's happening? It's because that guy, that salesman, he was only seeing himself as worthy of being a $50,000 per year salesman. So because he believed that he couldn't go above that limit, he created an invisible ceiling in his mind. And so the actions that he took on a daily, on a weekly, on a monthly basis, they allowed him to reach only that goal. He couldn't reach above. So just like if you believe that you cannot become successful, that you can't build a $10,000 per month business, if you genuinely believe that you cannot be disciplined, that it's too difficult, that you lack willpower, guess what? You will never be disciplined. You'll never be able to stick to anything and you won't make any progress. I used to see myself as a loser who, no matter how hard he tried, couldn't discipline myself. Guess how much progress I made back then? None. I couldn't move forward. Even when I would take one step forward, I would take 2 steps back. I was endlessly spinning my wheel in this hamster wheel, and no wonder why I was so miserable. If you pay attention, you'll realize that your actions are always in alignment with your beliefs, with who you believe yourself to be, and also what you believe to be true about the world. So if in your mind, your identity is to be someone who's sloppy, lazy, guess what? You'll act exactly as someone who's lazy and sloppy. You will stay exactly as you are, and everything in your life will stay the same until you start telling yourself a different story. Because your reality, the life that you experience, it's not going to magically change overnight. Like if you want to be rich, no one is going to give you $1 million overnight, and then you can actually become a rich, successful version of yourself. That's why we need to do the opposite. First, you need to become the successful version of yourself, the disciplined version of yourself, the jacked version of yourself, the version of yourself who can get dates easily, whatever it is that you want to accomplish. And only then, when you start to embody that new version of you, will your reality change. You'll experience a different reality. And if you don't believe me, feel free to click off this video. Go try to take action. But if you really think you're gonna make a lot of progress in a few weeks from now, in a few months from now, just by taking action blindly, trust me, you'll still be playing video games, scrolling on TikTok, instead of actually improving yourself. Because when you try to take action without changing who you are at the core, your identity, your beliefs, guess what is gonna happen? You're always gonna go right back to square one. It's only a matter of time, I can guarantee it. As long as I saw myself as somebody who was weak, as somebody who couldn't couldn't do the work. Guess what happened? I couldn't do the work and I felt weak. I looked weak. And I'm not saying that you've got to brainwash yourself into thinking you're better than you currently are. Like, I'm never gonna tell you go in front of the mirror every single day as a part of your morning routine, repeat, I'm super successful, I'm super jacked. Because truthfully, that is not gonna work. You're gonna feel like a complete fraud saying that. However, you want to start taking action. And when you take action, let's say you want to get jacked, you go to the gym. Now you start to think, okay, I went to the gym because I am jacked. Because I'm the kind of person who goes to the gym every day or 5 times a week or whatever, and I'm acting like a muscular guy because I'm going to be one. When you're determined to become a specific version of yourself, to reach a specific goal, you'll take action and you'll believe in your ability to actually take action over months and over years. And that is when you'll see the biggest growth and the biggest success ever. Now, the other reason why you're not disciplined is because you hate what you do. In reality, you need to learn to love the grind. A lot of studies have actually showed that the people who achieve a huge amount of things, like extraordinary things, getting insanely jacked, finding the love of their lives, building multi-million-dollar empires, and sometimes even more than that, it's not because they're superhuman or they have the best IQ in the world. Like, a lot of people, they make more money than you as we speak, yet they are a lot less intelligent than you are. And also, these people who achieve a lot of things, they don't necessarily have more willpower than the average person, and if anything, it's actually the complete opposite. Because when you need to tap into your willpower reserves, you need to force yourself to do something because you don't feel like doing it, because you don't want to do it. I mean, I'm telling you, it takes a lot of willpower, a lot of perseverance, and a strength of character to keep doing the things that you hate every single day for months and for years. And in reality, 99% of people don't do it. Even if you take a look at a guy like David Goggins, he loves the grind, he loves pushing himself, he loves finding out what's on the other side of pain. Otherwise, he wouldn't do it. He'd probably be lazy, sloppy like a lot of people, but because to him, what matters the most, it's pushing himself. Just like for someone else, their goal might be to become the richest of their family, because they want to provide, because they want to truly feel that sense of accomplishment. For someone else, it might be getting jacked, building a great, muscular physique they can be proud of. If I told you, okay, you're gonna work a job that you despise, you completely hate it, it's horrible. Every single day you're gonna exhaust yourself. At the end of the day, you're always gonna be tired as hell. And at the end of the month, you're only going to earn $100. In the Western world, it's completely nothing. And even in a place like India, it's not a lot of money. So how long are you going to do it? How long are you going to sit down at your desk and do the work, exhaust yourself for $100 per month? Well, chances are not very long. In fact, 99.9% of people will quit very quickly, because any sane individual wouldn't exhaust themselves, kill their health, work so hard for so little rewards. And that is why the best way to become disciplined, it is to genuinely find enjoyment in the activity itself. If your dream is to become successful, to make 10k per month, maybe even to become a multi-millionaire, if you love the work that you do every single day, guess what? You're 1,000 times more likely to become successful than anyone else. Because when everyone else is tired, they're quitting because it's not working out the way that they planned, guess what? You'll still push because you love what you do, and you know it's only a matter of time until you actually become successful and make the kind of money you've always wanted to make. Because I'll be completely honest with you, being an entrepreneur at the very beginning, when you've got nothing to show for, it's kind of like that example we just talked about. It's kind of like working 70-hour work weeks, and at the end of the month, you only make $100. But then, fast forward a few years later, you're making 10k per month, 20k per month, 50k per month, and then people look at you and they say that you got lucky. But they don't realize all the hard work, the early mornings, the late nights that you had to put in to get to that point. While they were playing video games, watching TV, just messing around on weekends, you were working. So you deserved it, you earned it. But those people, they didn't see you do that. So they don't get it. And if they did, it would make them feel even worse about themselves, because it would make them face their own failures, their own laziness, their own lack of willingness to actually get better. So in the end, they would only have themselves to blame for it. If you spend all of your time playing video games, watching Netflix, instead of actually improving yourself every day, guess what? It's not someone else's fault. You only have yourself to blame for it. So when you work extremely hard, outsiders looking in, they're gonna feel terrible about themselves, unless they're very supportive people. The more success you want in life, the more you'll need to sacrifice, and the longer and the harder you'll need to work. Those are the rules of the game. Like, everyone wants the top 1% lifestyle. Everyone wants the mansions, the private jets, or even the people who don't care about any of that. They would sure as hell like to make more money, so they can be more free, so they can choose where they live, choose what kind of car they drive, choose just whenever they want to go on vacation that they can actually do it. Yet how many people actually put in the work every single day to get to that point? Very few. Wanting the best things in life, it doesn't make you special. What makes you special, however, it's going after it every single day and refusing to quit until you get exactly what you want. Now, the same is true in any area of life. Back when I was a mess, my life was completely horrible. I couldn't stick to anything, so I couldn't stick to a workout routine and to a diet plan. I was forcing myself to do the workouts that I hated and to eat bland, tasteless foods. I mean, I wouldn't even put salt and pepper on my food, on my vegetables. That's how extreme I got. I wouldn't eat any carbohydrates because I was led to believe that the paleo diet was the only diet to be healthy. But what a whole load of crap that was. You can eat oats, you can eat rice, you can eat carbohydrates, and in fact, if you exercise intensely, you'll need to. I mean, seriously, at the time, I was following the gurus, doing intermittent fasting, training fasted, and I was seriously wondering why I was staying skinny and weak. I mean, seriously, come on. That's exactly why you need to be extremely careful who you're listening to, because a lot of people out there, especially on social media, trust me, everyone has their own agenda. A lot of people, they don't care about giving you good applicable advice to help you to improve your life. Now, the next reason why you're not disciplined is because you don't have a strong enough reason to do the work. Right now, you might think that you know why you're getting out of bed every single morning. You might think that you already know what you want out of life. But let me ask you a question. Do you know why 99% of people fail their New Year's resolutions? It's because they set goals that don't actually matter to them. They're not deeply committed to turning their dreams into a reality. And in fact, for most people, they don't even set tangible goals. Instead, they just wish for things to happen. They wish for things to get better. They wish to make more money. They wish to look better and to find fulfilling relationships. But guess what? Just because you wish for something to happen, it doesn't mean it's gonna fall on your lap magically. Life couldn't care less about your goals. You need to fully realize this. So if you truly want something, you've got to go out there and make it happen yourself, because no one will give it to you. And when your goals are so vague, so generic, like I want to make more money, I want to look better, you're never going to be able to come up with a viable plan to make those goals come true. A real goal is clearly defined, has a specific time limit, and can be measured. So to give you an example, it could be something like, I want to have $4 million after tax in my bank account or in my different investments before I turn 30. That is a clear specific goal with a very specific time limit. So now that you've got a very specific clear goal, your brain will actually be able to come up with a plan to reach that goal. Because if you just want to make a bit more money, you could do that like 10,000 different ways. Just work longer hours, work overtime, that's it. But that's not going to change your life. That's never going to give you the freedom that you deserve and that you want. Now, the next reason why you can't actually discipline yourself to do the hard work is because your goals are not worth it. You see, the thing that a lot of people don't realize is that the goals that you set are too small. They're not going to motivate you to get out there and to do the work that you need to do to reach those goals. You've got to understand that human beings prefer to run the hell away from pain as opposed to actually work for something to gain a positive. If you had to work extremely hard, because if you don't, you're gonna lose your home, you're gonna be homeless. That is an insanely powerful driver. You're gonna work your butt off to get the hell out of the situation. You need money, so you're gonna do exactly what it takes. However, let's be real. A lot of people, they wanna make more money. They wanna get to $10,000 per month. It's their dream. But every single day, what are they doing? How hard are they really working to get that goal? Not very hard. In fact, a lot of people are just lying to themselves. They say they want it extremely badly. But if you look at what they do every single day, clearly their priorities are elsewhere. They're too comfortable. I mean, know that for your brain, it's always going to be more fun, more rewarding to go for the short-term instant gratification, like video games, Netflix, sugar and junk food, as opposed to going to the gym, working on your business, and improving your social skills. Because doing these things on the short term, it's not really going to change your life. It's when you do them for months and for years that now you seriously have a completely different life. A life better than your wildest dreams. But to get to that point, you need to go through months and years of patient hard work, which most people never will. But if I told you you're gonna work 10 hours a day for an entire year straight, no vacations, no breaks, and at the end of the year, you will have made $1,000, 99.9% of people will quit. They simply won't do it because it's not worth it. Now, on the other hand, if I told you, if you work for 10 hours straight every single day of the year for an entire year, at the end of the year, you will have everything you've always wanted. It's completely guaranteed. You'll be making so much money you can travel whenever you want, retire your parents, provide for the person that you love and your future family. In fact, you would have so much money, you wouldn't need to work ever again in your entire life if you wanted to. Now, do you think it's a reward that's worth it? Do you think it's worth it to sacrifice a year of your life for an eternity of freedom? That is why when you set a goal, you need to make sure you're willing to actually do what it takes to get there. If your goals are too small, they'll be so uninspiring, you won't even get out of bed. The people who just want to look a bit better, be a bit more toned, they don't get up at 5 a.m. to go to the gym. Now, the next reason why you're not disciplined is because your mental health is horrible. A little while ago, I used to feel constantly rushed, so I would enjoy nothing. I'd always think, I need to do the next thing, I need to do this and do that, because I wanted to be as productive as possible. Now, the other thing that's actually killing your mental health, it is setting unrealistic goals. Because when you set the goal of getting from 0 to 10k per month within your first 3 months in business, guess what? 99.9% of the time, that goal is not achievable. So you won't reach that goal. So it's gonna take a hit on your self-esteem, on your confidence. You'll think that you're a loser. You'll hear about some people on social media claiming they made millions of dollars in just 90 days or in their first year. But for 99.999% of the world, it is not possible. And oftentimes, when people make huge claims, they're lying to you because they want to sell you something. They don't actually care about you. So guess what is going to happen? If you set such a big goal, especially in such a short amount of time, you're never gonna make it happen. So now you'll hate yourself. And in the process, you're gonna kill your mental health because you'll think it's your fault. You'll think that you're the loser. When if you look around you in the real world, how many people actually make 10k per month? And especially consistently month after month? Like if you're an employee to make 10k per month, you are in the top 1% in the world. Yet a lot of people, they start an online business. They think that if they don't make 10k per month within their first 3 months, they're a loser. I mean, what the hell? It's like imagine to try to bulk up 15 kilograms of pure muscle within your first 3 months of starting to lift weights. Not only is it not gonna happen, but you'll have to force yourself to eat so much. You'll hate the process. You'll have to go to the gym constantly. You'll be so exhausted. Your entire life will be gym. And in the end, the result that you get, you might have bulked up 15 kgs or 30 pounds over the next 3 months, but you'll just be fat. Because something that you really need to understand is that consistency will always matter more than intensity. Great things will take time to achieve. They're not going to happen overnight. At the end of the day, I genuinely believe that if you put in the work and you never give up, you can truly build for yourself the kind of life that you've always wanted. You can truly make all of your dreams come true. But the harsh truth and the reality check that you really need to internalize right now, it's that it's probably gonna take a lot longer than you think. It might take years, but what's your other option? If you follow the traditional path, you go down the 9 to 5 route, unless you really want to become a lawyer, a doctor, like it's your dream job, it's gonna take you decades. You'd spend all of your life trying to slowly climb the corporate ladder and probably never even make 6 figures a year. So every time you get impatient, you need to ask yourself this one question. What's my other option, really? Because chances are, there isn't a better option. If you want to make more money than most people ever will, like if you want to make in a month what doctors make in a year, you need to start an online business. You don't have 10,000 different ways of doing it. Now if you're just starting out, you don't know what to do, I've recorded a free guide in which I analyze every popular online business model. We take a look at the pros, at the cons. If you're interested, it's the first link in the description below. With that said, as always, I'm waiting for you on the other side.